Yo, crew members, what it be?
Hey-o! Ho-ho! I'm going to save that third ho for next month.
Fucking right you are.
Gotta let Thanksgiving breathe a little bit.
Let my wife's birthday come past first. Then we can start talking about Christmas shit.
And having said that, I want to wish, well, not wish, but I hope that everyone had a happy Thanksgiving. For those
I hope so too.
Got together with family and friends, and hopefully it wasn't too awkward. No family fights around the turkey or whatever everybody eats.
Too argumentative, too chaotic.
Yeah.
I mean, look, sometimes you kind of want to throw this, you know what I mean, a little bit of gas on the fire, and I'm not mad at that in certain situations. Because for me, I do enjoy chaos. As long as I'm not the one spreading it, I enjoy watching it.
How was your turkey day? Where'd you go? What'd you do?
Turkey day was good. We just hung out here at the house.
Oh, nice little quiet one this year.
I mean, look, it's always. I mean, we always do it here.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
You don't do like any. Okay.
No, so we only do Thanksgiving here, and then.
I thought you normally did something with Mike, didn't you? Or no?
No. So I mean, look, normally on like a Saturday or a Friday, like after Thanksgiving,
like a Friendsgiving type thing.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah.
But like last week, I did Duffsgiving, which is my mom's maiden name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's it was at my uncle's house, my mom's brother, and that was cool because I got to see family I haven't seen since my cousin got married earlier in the year. So that was nice.
What'd you have? Did you do turkey or did you do?
Oh yeah, we did turkey. We did huge ass fucking biscuits. I love fucking fat boys, dude.
Like we talking like Pillsbury? Like what we talking? Pillsbury Grands?
Mm-hmm. Pillsbury go big, baby. That's what we do.
Before we get into this episode of the day, I got it because we were talking about it at our Thanksgiving, and I'm curious. So,
ooh, I want to hear it.
Well, no, people were putting out those, if you had to give up one Thanksgiving side and you could never have it again, what would it be? And it's funny.
Is it something that I would eat, or is it something that's like, cause
like whatever sides you normally have at Thanksgiving?
Whatever sides
like
I do which one would I be? Which one would I go without for the rest of my life?
Yeah, like it doesn't even have to be one that you like. Just one you're willing to be like, nope, that can F off forever.
Oh God.
For me, green bean casserole all day.
I mean,
all day.
Anything casserole can go. Like I mean,
well, you can make a lot of things in a casserole. Just call it a casserole. Even
that's
if
very
it ain't.
true.
You know
Y'all can.
Y'all can. What do you mean, y'all?
Y'all. Casserole is definitely not part of me, brother.
Well, yeah. But what's crazy is like there were so many people saying stuffing, and I'm like, that's my fucking favorite side.
Nah, stuffing's fucking amazing.
Stuffing is my
especially
favorite
homemade.
side. And we met. So Shauna, Jeff's daughter, has a boyfriend that we hadn't was our first time meeting him.
Oh, nice.
Real cool dude. Actually worked in a. He was a chef for a while in the kitchen, so like he hopped right into the kitchen and helped out like right away.
That's great.
And he was like, and we were talking about this thing too, and he's like, I love stuffing. I was like, me too. And he's like, and I always wondered. He was like, they sell stuffing year round, yet nobody eats it year round. Like, why? Why do we not eat stuffing more often? I was like, bro, you got a point.
He does have a solid point.
But like green,
I'm thinking of that right now as well.
I've never been a green bean guy, so they can go forever. Also, I don't like the what is it, like the candied sweet potatoes with like the marshmallow on top?
Isn't that ambrosia?
I think they're a little different. I think they're different. Ambrosia definitely has marshmallow, I'm pretty sure.
Dude, I know nothing of that shit.
Now you got me out here looking. We're on a video game podcast. You got me out here looking up ambrosia.
You're the one talking about Thanksgiving food. This is you, not me.
Ambrosia salad is a creamy fruit salad loaded with pineapple, mandarin oranges, coconut, and miniature fruit-flavored marshmallow. So it's the marshmallow-topped fruit shit.
That sounds horrible.
I've never even had that at Thanksgiving, so I wasn't even thinking.
That sounds horrible.
But anyway, put some respect on stuffing. That's all I'm asking for.
I agree.
That's where this whole thing was going.
I agree.
But anyway.
But to answer your question on what I would say I could do without, I mean, green beans would probably be up there. Like I don't do anything with yams, sweet potatoes, none of that stuff. I mean, it's just not what I like. So I could be completely fine without because I don't even touch them.
Yeah.
I mean, meanwhile, like my mom and my sister will bring over like sweet potato pie or they'll, like some yam stuff.
Stuffing got to stay.
Absolutely.
Mashed potatoes got to stay.
Mac and cheese got to stay.
Mac and cheese can stay, But Alex and I were just having a conversation the other
You
day.
might need to watch your tone with this because I don't know how. I don't know if I'm gonna like this or not.
You probably won't. I was talking to Alex about it. I was like, dude, for increasingly over the last like 3 or 4 years, I have given less and less of a shit about mac and cheese. Now, I'm not saying I hate it. I'm not saying if you put it on my plate, I'm like, oh my God, I will not eat that. But could care less about it as a side anymore. I don't know why. Maybe it's because my lactose intolerance is really starting to kick up as I get older.
Maybe. I mean, look, mine is as well, but mac and cheese is one of those that
I still eat ice cream though.
I mean, mac and cheese is one of those that, especially on Thanksgiving, like there is no way on God's green earth that I miss out on it. Especially because like the two people that I know that make mac and cheese from scratch are fucking incredible at it. My little sister and Clyburn. Clyburn's mac and cheese is damn near orgasmic. Yeah. I'm not joking. The amount of cheese he puts in there, and then he just sprinkles some noodles. Like, I swear to God.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, let's circle back around to why we're all here today.
6 minutes of Thanksgiving.
I say all. Well, it deserves its time. It's a holiday.
That wouldn't be a bad name for the episode.
What's that?
6 minutes of Thanksgiving.
6 minutes of Thanksgiving. I like it. We hope our brother Anthony had a happy Thanksgiving wherever the F he's at.
Yep. Happy, safe, and everything else, man.
Yeah. But today we have another original episode, which is nice. And I'm kind of shocked that we haven't done it at this point because we've had a lot of episodes surrounding Pokemon, or at least where we've talked about Pokemon a lot. But what we have never done is actually had an episode based around our favorite and least favorite Pokemon all the way throughout all these Jennies.
Yeah, because we're talking about, what, 9 gens?
Yeah.
There's 9 generation. There's almost 1,000, if not over 1,000 Pokemon now.
Correct.
I mean, we're not counting like the different versions of certain ones like Sandshrew and like the Alolan Sandshrew.
No.
Just Sandshrew as a species, and then subspecies are different.
Correct.
But yeah, dude, we have almost like easily 1,000.
And so what we're going to do is, like I said, we each picked one from each gen that was our favorite, and then we also picked one or a couple that were our least favorite, and it could be based on a multiple different reasons. It could be one that was just annoying to catch. It was one that was annoying to fight. One that you just dislike because you don't like the way it looks, because you don't like anything. Whatever the reason you don't like it, we put it there. And then just for funsies, we're going to pit our favorites against each other and see. Since we have no idea who's on each other's list, we're going to pit our favorites against each other and see who wins. So, without further ado, and we can switch off as to who goes first each time. We're going to start with Gen 1. And just for anyone who's not as brushed up on it, and I had forgotten some of these too, I put like which games belong to which gen and the areas. So we're just going to start with Gen 1, obviously, which is red, blue, yellow, fire red, leaf green, both the Let's Go's. Some people forget we're the straight OGs.
Yeah, Kanto.
And yeah, it's the Kanto area. So you want to start it off? What was your favorite? I'll start it off? Okay. Well, this one's no secret because I literally just talked about it last episode.
Because this is going to be the... See, I feel like so I would consider that one a pseudo. Absolutely consider that a pseudo. I did not pick it. Well, go into...
That's fine.
You know, I mean, why you choose your...
Mewtwo, like
your mutated abomination.
Yeah, well, like I said, Mewtwo's thus far arguably my favorite Pokemon of all time. So there's no way I wasn't gonna pick that.
Easily one of the most powerful besides like Arceus.
It's up there. It's up there. I mean, you get the right type matchup, you can still fuck it up.
Well, yeah.
So that was my favorite. And do you want to do favorite, and then least, or do you want me to do all mine and then you do yours?
No. We can do it like that. Favorite, least.
Okay, what you got?
So, one of my favorites actually was because I never had anybody to trade to get the final evolution. So I always just ramp this motherfucker up on levels, and it's Graveler.
Graveler's okay.
Graveler, which is the second form in the Geodude series. So right in between Geodude and Golem. So like I said, I never had anybody to trade with, so I couldn't get Golem, at least not with the early games. So I would just have Graveler just fucking boost.
Yeah.
But I'll give you the one that I
smoke
hated.
So we're just gonna chalk that one up for me for round 1.
Oh God, yeah, you fucked me up. Yeah, you destroyed me. Like the only way I could win with Graveler is if
self-destruct.
Well. I would need to do something else first. Like I'd have to get you on like an earthquake or something first.
That wouldn't even be a fucking win. That would be like a tie because you die too if you self-destruct. You take me out, but you also go.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that doesn't always happen because Graveler has Sturdy.
Not in the first gen. They didn't have those things yet.
That's true. All right, so I'm going to give you probably one of the ugliest Pokemon in my opinion. And it, like, honestly, it always was a bitch to fight because this was one that you always faced off in, like, Victory Road and going up against, you know what I mean, like, the top 4 and all that shit. Jinx.
Okay.
I couldn't stand fighting that motherfucker. Mainly because there weren't that many that used, like, a lot of ice-type moves at that time, so it was a little harder to kind of figure out the varying, like, I mean, like what would be a good counter. And Psychic in the first game was OP as fuck.
Yeah.
Psychic was the most powerful. I mean, because the only other one that was as powerful would be Fighting, but Fighting would get demolished with one hit.
Another reason that like Mewtwo and Mew were so unfuckwithable in the first 150 is because they were Psychic Pokemon with stupid high special attacks.
Yep.
So once they learned Psychic, which was OP already, it is over. It's over. So the least favorite for me, now it's funny because I love this Pokemon, so my reasoning was the catching, and it always used to fucking annoy the shit out of me.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
Abra?
Yes, because of the teleport. It used to drive me nuts because if I didn't have somebody yet that, you know, knew... and the fact that I don't quite remember all of the moves in first gen, I don't know if you had a move like Mean Look yet, which is what you used in future gens where you could make sure that an enemy or a Pokemon couldn't escape.
No, you would have to, like,
you'd have to throw a ball right away and get lucky.
Well, it's either that or you would have to have a grass type or bug type that had, like, Paralyze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Stun Spore or something along those lines.
Something like that, or Sleep Powder.
Yeah.
Something like that. And then, but, you know. So that's why. So I love Abra, Kadabra, Alakazam, all of them. Like I said, there was a long stretch of time where Alakazam was my favorite. Alakazam is almost what I put above. That would have been it if we had laid rules in the beginning and said no, you know, no starters, no legendaries. Mm-hmm. I would have said I would have done Alakazam, but Mewtwo for me. So all right, so that first one goes to me because Mewtwo versus Graveler ain't even close.
God, yeah, I got
so fucked up. Let's move on to Gen 2, which is the Johto region, which was Gold, Silver, Crystal, Heart Gold, and Soul Silver, which were the remakes of Gold.
So the main starters, like I kind of feel like we should also give the starters because that's also a good way that people know. You know what I'm saying? What these ones are.
Go for it. Well, if you I'm hoping we shouldn't have to at this point, but the one that we just covered, Gen 1, we're talking Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So from Gen 2, we have Chikorita, which is the grass type, Cyndaquil, which is the fire, and Totodile, which was the water.
Yeah, and I don't know if I ever said this on stream before, but the very first Pokemon that I ever took all the way to level 100 for Alligator.
I heard he was like so I always played as Chikorita in that one. So, but I heard for Alligator was like stupid powerful.
Yeah, well, so what I used to do back in the day, since I was able to trade, and it was way more annoying because you didn't have the shit that you had now, where you could like store Pokemon in banks and just pull them out. Like, so I would play the game, get it all the way to the point where I would get my first starter, trade it to Mike because he had his games. Then I would start my game over, pick a different starter, trade it to Mike, and then whatever one I was going to roll with, you know, for the next one, I would take it, and then he would trade me mine, so I would always have all 3 starters. But yeah, for Alligator was the very first thing I ever took.
Nice.
But anyway, continue.
All right, so my favorite in Gen 2, easily, Umbreon. It was the first time you got to see Umbreon Dark-type Eevee evolution, and it is by far one of my favorites.
Is that dual type, or is it just Dark?
No, it's just Dark.
Okay.
I mean, as of right now, it's just Dark. I think they might have changed it to like being Dark. No, I think it was only Dark.
Like just the yellow, the yellow gold, the yellow gold fucks me up because it makes me think that it knows like electric shit.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's like Umbreon. Like we talked about that last week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. Like,
I think Umbreon's one of the sickest, if not the sickest, evolution.
I think so.
That's up there.
I mean, when they like
Espeon's pretty dope too. I'm not gonna lie.
Glaceon's pretty fucking sick. Espeon's good.
Yeah.
Sylveon is. I mean, dude, a fairy type Pokemon is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like Sylveon's awesome.
So my favorite, and this is also on the short list of my favorite of all time, Tyranitar. I love Tyranitar, bro.
I was looking at him, but I classify him as a pseudo just because of how powerful he is.
The fuck, just because if you're going to classify him as pseudo because he's powerful as shit, then you got to consider Gyarados pseudo because Gyarados is powerful as fuck too.
I mean, Gyarados is OP.
So there's no way. Especially not, like, I understand Mewtwo being a pseudo because Mewtwo is just Mewtwo. You don't do anything, but like you still gotta take a Larvitar to get it all the way up to Tyranitar.
All right, I got you. But yeah, with that matchup, because you're also dark.
I'm Dark Rock, right?
Yes.
So that's what. So like
that's a tighter matchup.
It is. It really depends on what moves you know. If you know any water moves, that would be a struggle for me. I don't know that you do, and I think just because of Tyranitar's sheer power and things like Earthquake and whatnot, I would probably win that one.
And Intimidation as well. I mean, starting off with Intimidation, I mean, that immediately.
Yeah, so I'll take that one.
God damn it.
What's your least? You'll probably catch me moving forward. I'll tell you right now, you definitely whoop my ass in Gen 5. I know that for sure. So least favorite in Gen 2.
My least favorite Gen 2, to be completely honest, is probably Ledbia.
The little Lediba, the one that goes into Ledian.
Yep. Like it's just like it was one of the it was one of the first ones you came up across to. I mean, when you were like going in the journey and all that type of shit.
Lediba
was the first one you got in the wild grass.
Yeah, it's like the equivalent of when you played the first game when you started getting to like Weedles and Caterpies and shit like that. Yeah.
Meanwhile, I love Weedle and Caterpie because I love Butterfree and Beedrill. I think those are excellent final evolutions. But even with Ledian, it's like there's nothing really there.
I know a lot of people fell in love with those in Gen 1 just because they were the quickest to the third evolution. I think you only had to get to level 10 for Butterfree.
Yeah.
And Beedrill,
and the good thing with Butterfree, and dude, we are nerding so hard right now.
That's what we do.
I know. The good thing about Butterfree was that it was psychic. It could learn psychic moves. So at level 10, you were able to use shit like Confusion.
Yeah.
So when you had, and at that point, level 10, that early in the game, not even going up against, like, you just walked out of Pewter City. You are just going into, dealing with Brock and everybody else. Like, you're just starting. Yeah. So with that, dude, having Confusion would be clutch, especially if you have, like, a fire type as your main. And then you had that one for us, Cerulean? Not Cerulean. Which one was Misty? Was it Cerulean City?
Well, it wasn't still them in Gen 2, was it? They're still the same gyms, Water Rock and all that, but it's definitely not Misty Emperor. I know they got different names.
No. Yeah, they got different names.
So my least favorite, I picked two because they're for two different reasons. So for catching purposes, because not that I wanted to catch it to use it, but it's called Gotta Catch 'em All, so I catch 'em all. Shuckle. Shuckle is so annoying because it, like, unless you grind like a motherfucker, it takes so many hits to take that thing down. Because if you use a super effective move, you're probably going to kill it right away. So you need to use something like like slash or tackle, and then it takes forever. Even false swipe would take forever.
The good thing about false swipe is that it takes, like, no matter what, you can't drop under 1 HP.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if you're going to catch a Shuckle that's got 90 HP and you use false swipe, you're going to have to use false swipe 80 times to get it down to that 1 HP. That's how strong that fucking stupid
Better get that PP up.
And Miltank. Because Miltank, there's a gym, one of the first gyms you come at.
Miltank's
the biggest thing they have is their Miltank. And if you are not, I can't even say prepared. If you're not beyond prepared, the second that thing uses rollout, you're fucked. Because that first rollout, maybe the first two are probably all you're going to survive. And then every rollout after that, it's just smoking everything. And it was super annoying. Super fucking annoying. That may have also been the game. It was either that one or Gen 3 where I was going to put, in the least, I was going to put Crobat, because when you go to fight the black belt after you do, like that's in that cave, after like Victory Road and the Elite Four and all that stuff, his most powerful thing is like it's somewhere between a 65 and an 85. I never remember Crobat that uses like extreme speed and shit like that and double team. Dude,
impossible to hit.
So ridiculous.
Impossible to hit. So,
moving on to Gen 3 with the Hoenn region for Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, Alpha Sapphire, and Omega Ruby.
This was one of my favorites. This was easily one of my favorite Pokemon generations of all time.
Now, yeah, it's actually up there for me too. And this is one of the, and I absolutely went with the legendary with this one because it's one of my favorites. I went Rayquaza. I love Rayquaza.
Rayquaza is a fucking great. I can't even get mad at you with that. So with Gen 3, the starters were Trico, which is grass type, Torchic, which was fire, and Mudkip, which was water. this was one of the first games that I made sure I had all of them because Skeptile, Blaziken, and Swampert were stupid powerful.
Dude, Blaze Kick was insane. With
super powerful, man. Like, yo, so good. Like, dude, even Grovyle. Grovyle's probably the best Step 2 evolution that I've seen for grass types.
Because it also had one of the more powerful, like, mid-tier grass moves, because I think it had a Leaf Blade.
Mm-hmm. And
that thing was powerful, dude.
Leaf Blade was fucking awesome.
Because usually what it was back in the day was, like, if you had a grass Pokemon, you were just counting the moment. If you're not someone that likes to use two-step moves like Solar Beam, you were, like, waiting for, like, Razor Leaf. And then you get to this one. I think this is where you even had shit beyond that. You had, like, Leaf Storm.
No, I think Leaf Storm might have been later gens.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, so I picked Rayquaza for my favorite. Who you got?
I'm not mad at you for that in the slightest. I just want to make sure that so I actually have 2 in this one, and I'll say that I'm not.
That's fair. And that is the only actual legendary that I picked.
Okay.
Because like I said, I don't think they actually classify Mewtwo as a legendary.
No, I don't think so.
Because in that one, they just call them it's just Zapdos, Moltres,
and no, you have the flying Pokemon. That's it. So, one of mine, which everybody should know, just because we talked about it before.
There's a reason I didn't pick it because I do like it, but it's not my favorite. But
Absol?
Yes,
yeah,
because we just talked about that last week, so I knew
one of my favorites. That. Yeah, hands down, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. I absolutely don't even know why. I just love it.
It's incredibly strong.
It is. It is very, very strong. Shit. What was the other one? Fuck. So I'll tell you one that I hated fighting. You know what I mean? Since I'm scrolling through and I'm looking. Altaria. Swablu's evolved form, dragon flying type.
This is where the peak had started for like how powerful dragon Pokemon were.
Yes.
Because now, like when you started to get to the later ones, Altaria ain't shit.
Yeah, but then when you deal with, you know what I mean, like
but in that
Pokemon
game,
Flygon, you know what I'm saying? When you dude, like, because Flygon being a ground and dragon, you know what I'm saying, dude? That's a hefty fucking combination.
Yeah. It's a good thing they at least balance it out by giving you more ice options at least.
Yeah. So, okay, I lied. I have 3 for this one, but it is my favorite gen, so there's that. So, I already said Absol. Another one for me is a Steel Fairy type. Got a look on your face like you're thinking about it.
Steel Fairy.
Mm-hmm. Stands with its back to you. That should actually iron that out pretty damn well.
How many evolutions?
None.
None.
It's a soul. It's a 1.
I don't have a clue.
Mawile.
Really? Actually threw me off with Mawile being fairy. That's what fucked me up.
Yeah. Mawile can
steal,
Mawile can pull moves like Play Rough and shit like that, which Play Rough is insanely powerful. And then another one that I absolutely love. This was one of the first ones that I actually I was able to get to the 3-step evolution. And I really, really, really enjoyed the final phase of this, but Aggron.
Aggron.
Yep.
Or Aggron.
Lairon.
Aggron. Yeah. So least favorites, what you got?
Least favorites. Honestly, Azurill is just stupid to me.
I mean, in fairness, so is Meryl and Azumarill.
Yes,
so.
But, and also, so there was this one section in Gen 3 that had all the Pokemon that I couldn't stand. It had Azurill, it had Makihita, it had Whismur and Loudred. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, it was kind of like a plateau area.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, my normal Pokemon aren't my favorite. So.
But I'm saying, though, Whismur was always annoying to me for the sole purpose of you barely were able to get a move in. Like, you know, because it always did Uproar. It always, and so was Loudred. Always did Uproar.
The 2 that I picked are like 2 of my least favorite of all time, and they were version specific. So it was one from my game, one from the other game, and it was Solrock and Lunatone. I hated them. I hated trying to catch them. I don't like using them. They're annoying. They're annoying to catch because they're rock, so they're resistant to a shitload when you're trying to catch them. So it's almost got that like Shuckle thing where you're trying to take them down, but the difference there is they're also, I'm pretty sure,
psychic.
They're psychic. So they've got these damn moves that like while you're taking your sweet old time trying to chunk them down to catch them, and they're just laying into you. Like Shuckle ain't all like that. But so Solrock and Lunatone.
Before we go into Gen 4, I do want to say this. When they decided to put the twist in the relationship between like Seviper and Zigzagoose or Zangoose.
Yeah.
I fucking love that. I love the fact that they cannot be in any area near each other.
Yeah.
Or else it is an insta fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is generational trauma. Like I'm like, yo, that is fucking amazing. Like, because I'm pretty sure that's one of the first ones you actually see that with in these games. I mean, actually seeing like a relationship besides just catching them.
All right, to Gen 4, which is, I gotta really sit down and crunch it, but could possibly be my favorite game.
It is a good fucking run.
This is Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, and Shining Pearl. Platinum was one of my favorites. I played Platinum a lot. I think Platinum was actually the one I probably have the most time on, because I think that's the one that I was playing at the time when we used to work out with Anthony in the garage. Was Platinum. Remember, we all used to come in with our shit and be comparing, you know, what we had and whatnot. What's your favorite?
So first we're going to go with who the starters were.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So we had Turtwig, which was grass type, so fucking powerful. Chimchar, which
is that the one that went to Torterra? Or?
Yep.
Okay.
Then you have Chimchar, which is fire type, and then Pipluck, which is water. So, like Empoleon being water and steel was that was one of the most powerful starters that's come out. Period.
Yeah.
Like, it was amazing. I can tell you straight off the bat, Pokemon that I thought was dumb, that I didn't like, Bidoof.
Yeah, that was a
I
goofy
think
dumb.
Bidoof is stupid as shit.
If you think Bidoof is stupid, I'm not necessarily saying you're wrong. It's just like you can find each game's version of that, because all that that was Rattata. That's all that was.
I know. I
mean,
look,
and then you look at Pat Rat, same thing.
I don't even mind like Baneri. You know what I mean? Like Baneri and Lopunny. I like those two. You know what I mean? Those two are cool, but I mean, for some reason,
since you jumped off and went to least favorite first, I can tell you mine, because
please do.
And the only reason its pre-evolution didn't make it was because there was something I actually disliked more in the previous gen, but for this gen, I could not think of anything I disliked more than Probopass. So stupid. Rock with a big ass nose and fake.
It is fucking.
It's actually not even big. It's that fake, like the
nose
glass
mustache?
The glass mustache nose combo you can buy at like any gag store.
Yeah.
On a fucking rock.
Looking like the fucking Humpty Dance. Go ahead.
Yeah, on a fucking rock. It's so stupid.
Humpty Dance is your chance. Do the hump. Come on, baby. DMCA. We got the DMCA. Come on, baby.
All right. What's your favorite?
I will say one of my favorites is actually Toxicroak.
That thing looks sick too.
Like, yeah, dude, number one, it was a nasty looking Pokemon. Like, just with the, with like the big bellowing throat thing like frogs have. You know what I'm saying? Just that red part right there. Like, the fact that it was poison and fighting. So you could have stuff like poison jab, and you could also have like, some type of like poison punches and shit like that. It was such a great style of Pokemon to bring in, because everything about Krogunk and Toxicroak is counters. They are counter fighting Pokemon. They are there for for the comeback.
The only reason I never liked to use them if I was going against actual other people is just because of that one tell. If you're going against somebody that doesn't necessarily already know all of the type strengths and weaknesses, the fact that Krogunk and Toxicroak have the anticipation. So when, if you have a move that's super effective, the second you get that first matchup, it says Toxicroak shudders in anticipation, which means you have one of your 4 moves will take it out in one hit. So, like, that tells you right there, like, okay, all I got to do is look at my moves, and it's like, okay, if 2 of my 4 moves are, status effectors like a Leer or Roar or something like that,
yeah.
I know I got a 50-50 shot that if I don't know what I'm doing, I got a 50-50 shot to take your shit out in one hit.
And I will use a Pseudo as another one for me, because this is a Pokemon that I actually ran with for a long fucking time. This is one of the first ones that I got from gifts. You know what I mean? When they were doing like the online gift stuff. So for me, it would be Darkrai.
That was mine. But
yeah.
I said it last week.
I
said last week, Darkrai is one of my favorite of all time. That thing is sick looking. It's got it's just the nightmarish moves that it has that are all about just
I know.
dark. It's got like ominous wind, what else did it have? It had some wild ones, like some bad dream
It's got,
shit.
dude. It's got some shit that can nerf the fuck out of you before
Yeah.
give me before it even puts a move on you.
So what was your favorite in that one?
Well, I said one of my favorites. You know what I mean? I was running through some of them, but
Well, we're obviously not going to do Darkrai versus Darkrai. So what
no.
was your other one?
Toxicroak, which would be poison and fighting
Yeah, okay, you probably get some of that too.
versus Dark.
All right, so I think I'm up 4-0 at this point because then the last one was Rayquaza versus Absol, and as wild as that. But that's not really a fair fight. Now, Gen 5, like I said,
I mean,
this
look,
actually moving on.
So I will say this real quick. Another one of the Pokemon that I absolutely loved in this gen was Rotom.
Rotom, yeah.
Rotom I loved, especially just the regular
Well,
Electric Ghost.
as
That
it-
was
yeah.
that was one of my favorites.
As
I had the Mo one.
well, that didn't come until way later.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I love the regular Rotom, and I feel like that one would give Darkrai a much better run for its money.
Yeah, you'd still lose.
I'm
but it
not
would definitely
saying
would.
I wouldn't lose. I'm
But,
just saying.
but like I said, the funny thing is, I just started 4-0. It is a very real possibility you get a 5-0 sweep on this back end. Very real possibility, depending on what you picked.
this has another one of my favorites.
Gen 4?
Five.
The one that we just okay. So Gen 5, which we're going into now, which is the Unova region, which is Black, White, Black 2, and White 2. And I just want to say this for me. So from Gen 5 through 9, every game that has come out, I've loved. And for the most part, from what I can remember, I liked each one a little bit more than the last.
Okay.
And I had fun through all of them. But starting in Gen 5 is when, for me personally, the bulk of the new Pokemon they came up with really took a fucking dip. Where it was just like, I'm not really
I
caring
can
much
understand
about
that.
any of these motherfuckers. Gen 5 is my least favorite of all the generations.
Okay.
By far. But
So before you jump into that, let me give the starters.
Yep.
So Snivy was the grass type starter. Then we had Tepig, which was the fire type, and then Oshawott, which was the water.
So
Now,
you got Samurott, Emboar, and Superior?
Yep. I always loved Superior. Like that
too.
was, I mean, that was one that I ran with a lot.
Yeah.
But Samurott was also an extremely OP fucking water type.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
My favorite, I don't even know if this follows as a pseudo or not, but Vicenti.
Victini?
Is that what it is? Vicenti? I
Yeah.
thought it was Vicenti. Yeah.
No, Victini. Yeah.
This guy.
It would be considered a pseudo. Yeah, but it's fine. Yeah, you definitely smoke me. So my yeah. So my favorite, and
I
it is
always loved that one though.
my favorite, and it is only because, like I said, I legit couldn't pick one that I actually really liked because I didn't give a fuck about much of these ones. But this one really aided in the grind, and that's Audino. Because if you went on an Audino grind, you know Audino, right?
Which one's Audino?
Big, it's pink. The big pink looks like I don't know if it's a fucking elephant or what it is, but it's pink, and it's got no evolution. But Audinos were the ones that you would find most in the shaky grass. If you would walk along the outside and you'd see a patch of grass shake and you'd go in, it would be an Audino, and they would carry the most XP.
Oh, those little pink things.
The little pink things. And they'd
Yeah.
carry the most XP of anything out of the game. So people used to call it Audino grinding. You would just walk along the edge of grass until you would see a
Yeah.
shaky patch, go in, kill the Audino, get like triple the amount of experience as normal, and it cut the grind like in half. So just for making the grinding easier, Audino's my favorite.
Okay.
So you definitely spanked the shit out of me there. So we're at
I mean, the ones that I
4-1.
couldn't stand were probably the legendaries in this one, like the Landorus, Thundurus. Like
they weren't
dude,
good.
They were just,
Well, what else?
They were annoying. They were annoying as fuck to.
There was
to-
more than
to
just
battle.
that. There were more than just them, right? Because they weren't even technically the legendaries, were they?
No, you had Genesect. You had
Genesect wasn't. Can you turn your monitor a little bit just so I can see? What do we
Melata,
got here?
Keldeo.
Okay,
This
so
guy-
so the actual
so this
so the
guy-
actual legendaries for this game were Zekrom and
Oh,
Reshiram.
Reshiram. Got it.
And did this one have Giratina as well or no?
I
No. Okay.
don't think so.
Reshiram and Zekrom.
Okay,
were
so I guess
the-
these guys would be considered pseudos.
yeah, and I'm not a fan of them either, really. So
Like,
I
dude,
get your
they-
point.
like,
It's
so-
the same thing with the Reggies for me. I don't.
Yeah,
Give a shit
I get
about
that.
anyone.
I get that. So, but with like Thundurus and like Landorus and all that, it was the fact of, oh well, this area looks like it's stormy,
Yeah.
and then you had to go, and then it took you a minute to go ahead and fucking find him, and then when you found him, you only took him down like a little bit, and then he'd fucking run again. Like, dude, it's the same
Yeah.
thing as like Abra. It's just fucking annoying.
Agreed. So my least favorite, I had two of them. One just because it's ugly, and one because it was annoying. The ugly one, Stunfisk, is stupid. It's like that fucking brown fucking flounder, I think is what it is. Ugly as shit. It makes a really disgusting noise, like when you run into one in the wild. It's like, it just sounds like a fucking fart. Sounds like a straight up fucking fart, and you just look at it and it's just like a blobby piece of shit.
Oh my god.
So Stunfisk, and then Fungus I couldn't stand because the amount of times I thought I was finding an item in the wild only to be fighting another fucking Fungus.
That's that electrode type shit. That's like that.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
That's like Voltorb and Electrode. Same fucking thing.
Yeah, like fuck them stupid things, man. Out of here with all that shit. Like you got an ugly brown flounder that farts at you when you run into it, and then you get this Fungus just making life miserable. Like this game altogether, this generation altogether was just a nightmare.
Yeah, this didn't really give us all that much. That was like,
but like
super,
I said,
good.
but again, I had no problem with the game. Like I was fine. I had fun with the game. I just like there was no Pokemon that jumped off the page and I was like, oh, that's so sick.
Yeah. Like I mean, like Haxorus was good.
Yeah, Haxorus was cool.
I mean, look, I loved Axel. He's cute as fuck to me. So
Haxorus was cool. Cubchoo I couldn't stand because it like I have this weird. This is gonna sound so stupid because we're talking about a video game.
Please, let's go.
But I have this thing that happens to me in real life where like if I'm feeling fine and I'm watching a movie or a video with somebody who's sick and like their nose is running or they got that where they can't, it makes me feel like my nose is running and it drives me nuts. So whenever I would see Cubchoo with that big ass fucking snot bubble coming out of his fucking nose, I would actually like. I'd rub my nose the entire time. It drove me nuts.
Oh my god, dude, that is
like
I have
an actual physical response to this shit, and it drives me nuts.
Yeah, a physical response to a fucking Pokemon.
To an animated game. Yep. Yeah.
God damn it, everybody's fucking talking.
So like I said, you smoked me there.
I'll take it.
So we can move into Gen 6, the Kalos region for Pokemon X and Y. So this starters there or what?
Yeah, I'll get the start here. This one I didn't really play all that much, which is really funny because this one has probably one of the most famous water types in the entire game, and also one of the most powerful in the entire game. So the grass type, we had Chespin. Fire type, we had Fennekin, which is like a Fennec Fox, and then you have the water type, which is Froakie. Mm-hmm. And obviously, the water type full evolution is, Greninja, which is easily one of the most nastiest Pokemon in the entire thing.
So might as well just go without any further ado. My favorite is Greninja. Really, honestly, just because of a lack of liking very many of the other ones. So I just had to.
I can run with that.
I mean, think about it. Like it took to Gen 6 before I picked a starter. So there wasn't really anything that really jumped off the page. And like I said, this is...
And I fully see that with what you're talking about because, like, we're scrolling through while we're talking about these. So, like Florges, yeah. Florges, Floret, like, you have 5 different types, but they're all... It's the same fucking thing. It's just changing colors.
To me, this was the game that started when I was... Because every Pokemon... They've actually turned it around a little bit, and we'll see. But this is the gen where it got to the point where I started being like, okay, their like creative team is really struggling to figure out new Pokemon because now we're getting very basic Pokemon like Florges, which is just the flower, and they give you like 6 different colors to catch. And now you see that in other games now with like Tatsugiri, the little fucking fish that you can find like 6 different colors.
Yeah.
But like my least favorite for this game, and it goes with that theme. That's why I'm saying it now. Klefki. It's just stupid. It's like a pair of baby keys, like that little pair of fucking baby keys you toss to your little fucking kid to keep them occupied so you can play video games and shit. Or at least they used to. It's so fucking stupid. I'm like, why do I want this? And this is where I was like, oh, this is where I'm worried.
I fucking love it.
Like at the time, obviously knowing now that we're moving on 4 gens past that, but at the time I was like, dude, I feel like Pokemon's in trouble because we're getting at the point where I got to be stoked about catching a pair of fucking keys. Like janitor's keys, baby keys.
Fully understand what you're talking about there. So Pokemon that I could not stand in this one. Honestly, it's probably some of the fairy ones like Spritzy and
Swellix.
aromatase and all that shit. Like they just seemed dumb to me. I didn't see a benefit in grabbing them and using because there were much better fairy types.
Oh yeah.
But like so some of the ones that I loved in this was like the whole Honage evolution run
With the ghost, the sword.
Yep.
Let's say like was it Doublade,
Doublade, and then
Aegislash?
Aegislash.
Yeah.
I couldn't say that. But yeah, dude, like I fucking
Those things are sweet, yeah.
love those so much.
Those things are sweet.
Another one for me would have been Delphox. Because Delphox was the first that was the first time I ran through this game and I used her and you couldn't fuck with me.
For the head-to-head,
You could not fuck with me.
for the head-to-head matchup, you definitely stand a better chance if you go with the Aegislash, because if you go with Delphox the first Greninja, you're getting fucking smoked. But
I mean,
but the
Psychic
Aegislash
against
could
Dark,
probably take it out.
Like Psychic against Dark, I'm pretty sure Psychic wins.
You're also fire. I'm water.
Okay.
And I'm faster than you, so I'm gonna go first.
I mean, yeah, there is that.
So all I need to do is slap on a Mystic Water, use my best water move, and go first.
Fine, then look, I'll keep the Steel and Ghost. Let's fucking go. Aegislash, yeah.
That one, that's a tougher matchup. I'll still get you with because Steel is still weak against water, I think. But those ghost moves will fuck me up.
I'm about to say, dude, those ghost moves will be lights out.
And I won't be able to use any physical moves.
Nope.
So that's a much closer matchup.
I say I win that one. Oh, but another one that I know for a fact I'd win. If it went up against Greninja, would be Gudra.
Oh yeah,
that's
Gudra, poison, right?
Or no, Dragon, just straight up Dragon.
Oh yeah.
But like, I mean, unless it's the Hisuian form. The
the
other version, which is Steel Dragon, which is fucking like even better.
Also, I'd have to look at the moveset. It also depends on if Greninja can learn Ice Beam. Because if Greninja can learn Ice Beam, I still think I go first. As long as I land that thing, it's a wrap.
Well, yeah, I mean, because dude, Gudra is fucking
straight
huge.
dragon. Yeah, it's straight
Huge.
dragon. So, all right, but you know what? We'll give that one to you to make that more interesting. And not to mention, I think that it actually you could win that one for sure. All right, moving on to Gen 7, which is the game that I actually played the least. The Alola region for Moon, Sun, Ultra Moon, and Ultra Sun. I barely played those.
This is the one that got stupid because you had you're talking about the birds, like the pom-pom birds, like Oricorio.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have 4 different types. They're all flying. It's just fire, electric, psychic, and ghost. But it's just you don't need to do that.
Yeah. And it's really funny because so when we started Gen 5 is when I said it got to the point where, Gen 6, where they started running out of ideas and just coming up with stupid Pokemon. And when we start getting through these, the least favorite Pokemon, it follows that same theme. I was able to get a favorite, though. That sassy-ass motherfucking salamander. Salazzle. You see the way that bitch be standing?
Yes. She is, how do we put it? Sentry.
Getting all the Poke bitches.
She is Sentry. I think that might be the best way to describe it.
She's spicy.
So let's go ahead and give the starters for Gen 7. We have Rowlet, which was a grass and flying type, Litten, which is a fire type, and Poplio, which was a water type. So Rowlet was the only one that I thought actually had a decent evolution.
That's got to be the weakest class of starters.
Absolutely.
That's got to be.
I agree with you.
All of this obviously is subjective, but
Incineroar was not that good to me. You know what I mean? I understand that every time it got attacked, you know what I mean? The rage and everything else. I get what I get what they're trying to do here.
Yeah.
I still think it's a bullshit Pokemon though.
Yeah, I agree. So my favorite was Salazzle. How about you?
Give me a sec while I can tell you ones I hate.
You're right on my least favorite. Yeah, I see it on the page.
These two?
No. Think about it. My last one, because I said they were coming up with stupid ideas, and the last game was a pair of fucking keys. What do you think it is?
Yeah.
Yes, a fucking wreath. A straight up holiday wreath. They decided to make a Pokemon. What are we doing, guys?
I think
I love you, Game Freak. What are we doing?
I think some of the dumbest ones in this one was probably Stuffle and Beware. Personally.
Well, Beware also looks like that fucking pedo bear, but just saying.
You ain't wrong.
I know.
You ain't wrong.
It's creepy.
One of my favorite that I actually used a lot when I was running through, especially the older gens or the newer gens, but still has some of these in it. Come on, fire, fighting dragon.
Yeah, and you're you'll smoke me there.
Yeah, dude, this dude was fucking insane.
My only hope of winning this thing full out is one of the last two, because like I said, I knew 5, 6, and 7 I was getting worked, and I did. So, all right. Well, shit. Might as well just move. You moving on to Gen 8. All right, so Gen 8, the Galar region for Sword and Shield. Why don't you hit the people with the starters?
This might be one of my favorites.
We played the shit out of this one.
Oh my god,
we played the shit out of this one.
We played this one for like almost 3 years. We have Grookey, which is a grass type, Score Bunny, which is fire, and Sobble, which is the water. Now, we got, in my opinion, some of the best final evolutions and some of the dumbest final evolutions with these starters. Because Inteleon is fucking stupid.
Inteleon is straight up.
So is Drizzle. Drizzle was fucking dumb too.
Drizzle's the best of the three, but
Drizzle's just a fucking emo teen.
Well, I think that's kind of what they were going for, because you got Sobble, who's like crying the whole fucking time.
True.
So yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure the Sobble to Inteleon is like the teen angst.
You're probably not wrong. Probably not wrong.
Yeah. So your favorite from Gen 8, what you got?
One of my I know I'm gonna have like at least two, but Cinderace was one of my favorites.
Cinderace, okay.
Cinderace, mainly because
definitely speed, shit.
Fireball. So when it would do Fireball move, what it would do is that it would have a rock, and it would start hacky sacking that motherfucker.
With a rock. That's so sick.
Dude, that like number one, that move was insanely powerful.
But just also like the artistic,
just watching it,
yeah, like
literally. Didn't he pull a fucking Joker off of that shit too?
So yeah, and he was essentially playing a game of what the fuck? What was it called that you used to play back in the day? Yeah, he's playing a game of Kill, because as soon as he gets that last thing, he just kicks it straight at the dome.
Yep,
straight at the dome piece.
What do you got? What's
my favorite?
Is a good one.
Dragapult. Love Dragapult.
That is I was going to say that one as well, because that one is
Dragapult. Awesome. That was the most powerful Pokemon I had there. Motherfucker.
Apparently, according to Clyburn, that I did owe you one, but I couldn't.
Lies.
I couldn't
Lies,
pass
sir.
up on that one. I couldn't pass up on that one. That one was too clean.
The fix is in.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Dragapult was fucking awesome. Dragon and Ghost.
Yeah.
So good.
Sick, dude. So sick.
I enjoyed the Urshifu as well. So during I think it was the first DLC for those games, you know what I mean? You ended up on an island that was very much a dojo, like karate island, and you would get a Cubfu.
Yes.
And you had to work with the Cubfu, excuse me, and like get it up to the point of evolving. And when it does, you know what I mean, you get this really intimidating looking bear, you know what I mean, Urshifu, and he's just like so good. So fucking good.
Now, moving into least favorites, and I want you to start at the top of this, Gem, because I think this might be the game I'm thinking of where what made me even more nervous. So I was already nervous that they were running out of ideas, and then I think this was the game where they literally just started taking first-gen Pokemon and making different versions of them. So, like, is this the game that's got, like, their version of, like, Tentacool and Tentacruel, but there's, like, Toadscool and Toadscruel? I think that was this game, if you find it, because also the one that I have in for here,
Mr. Rhyme instead of Mr. Mime,
because that was my least favorite is Mr. Rhyme, because like you're just taking first gen Pokemon and making newer versions of them.
Surfetch instead of Farfetch.
Well, that was actually a evolutionary line. I think Surfetch came after Farfetch'd. I think. I might be tripping. But look towards I think it's towards the beginning. Like I said, I'm pretty sure there's a Toadscool and a Toadscruel or some shit. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
I don't think it's in this one.
Are you sure? Keep scrolling. I know it's...
No, I'm not sure, but that's what I said I don't think. Yeah. Grimmsnarl was easily one of the most fun Pokemon to play with in that game. Because, I mean, you had, like, Play Rough was one of the best moves.
And the fucking Apple Dragons are stupid as shit,
too. The Apple thing, yeah, that's fucking dumb. That is really dumb. I'm not going to argue with you. Yeah, but dude, I don't see what you're talking about here. Like, it's not. We don't have it here. Not on this.
It's probably the previous. It was probably the previous generation then.
But I mean, like, I liked what they did with the Rookity evolutions.
Corviknight is sick.
Dude, Corviknight is so good.
Sick, and it is just like sleek looking, bro.
I mean, flying and steel, like, yeah. Dude, it's.
And dude, when you got to see it in the game, it's huge. It's massive, bro.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so who did you pick again?
For my least?
No, for your most.
Dragapult.
Dragapult. And I'm probably gonna go with Grimmsnarl with that. So that's actually a really good fucking battle.
Yeah, it is.
Dragon Ball versus Grimmsnarl.
Yeah. What's gonna help you there
Dragon
is that fairy
Ghost.
type.
Oh yeah.
That fairy type.
And here's the thing, dude. I know for a fact with like one of my biggest fairy moves was either gleaming beam,
Dazzling Gleam.
That one or play rough.
Play rough.
Yeah.
Play rough was one of the biggest moves the most powerful moves I used with my fairy type in the next game we're about to talk to when you and I would do those raids.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So without further ado,
Yeah.
Gen 9, the Paldia region, where we are currently all in, if you're still playing, which is the Scarlet and Violet region. So Wes, hit them with the starters.
So we are going to start with grass, which is Sprigatito. And then we have Fuecoco for the fire.
Fuecoco.
And then Quaxley, the
Yes.
prim and proper.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Dapper gentleman, Quaxley.
Who is your favorite? I know mine.
Then say yours, because this one, like
Baxcalibur, which is to me it just looked like it looked like an ice Tyranitar, and this kind
here's
of
your Toadscruel and Toadschool.
Okay, so it's in this one. Yeah, okay. So they did it a lot in this one as well because I should have thought it was this one because another thing like it was kind of cool for a second, but like that end area 0 shit where it's literally just iron versions of other Pokemon or whatever, because I was going to pick Iron Thorns, which is the Tyranitar.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I don't fucking care about that. Yeah. And Wiglet and Wugtrio. So like this is the game where you're literally just reaching back to the original 151 and changing some letters up and changing how they look.
Yeah, you're not wrong. So
that dead dog's kind of cool though. That was really jarring the way I said it. I just realized that. Like, as it escaped my lips, I was like, that was so aggressive.
That might be the name of the episode.
That was so aggressive. That dead dog's pretty cool. What a name of an episode. What the fuck?
All right, bet. That's what it is.
Shit.
I would love to see you pick somebody who can beat who I'm picking right now. Tinkaton, I fucked everybody up with. You didn't have a chance.
Well, yeah, I had one too.
Dude, dude, you're talking about a fairy steel. The only reason that steel is strong against fairy. The only reason why this Pokemon is a steel type is because of the hammer.
The hammer, yeah.
The hammer is made from Corviknight.
Yeah.
That's where the hammer comes from. So this thing, which is supposed to be weak against steel, is using its greatest enemy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As its greatest strength.
Yeah.
And plus, it's fairy type, which just shows how powerful it is to begin with.
Agreed.
And like I said, I mean, unless you do pick a legendary, I do not know you can actually beat Tinkaton.
You would need the right matchup. Oh, I could find someone in the game that would beat Tinkaton. I don't think it's gonna be mine though.
That's what you were talking about. The dead dog, Houndstone.
And it's pre-evolution.
Greybird.
Yeah. The dead dog's pretty cool.
One
of my least favorite that I have is on the screen right now. Actually, two of them, I think.
These guys?
So Tatsugiri is another one of some. It's just a stupid little fish that they just make in different colors. That is actually a part of one of the big. What were those things? What were those ones called? Like those big, massive Pokemon you had to take down, like the big guys. What the fuck were they called?
Like whale lords?
No. I don't mean like I mean like they were large versions of Pokemon that you had to get. You had like the large Mamoswine. You had the super large. What the fuck? I'm like this Zelda in me sitting here wanting to call them Divine Beast, but I know they're not.
No, they're not Divine Beasts.
But Tatsugiri was part of one of them, right? Because you had to go to all those little fish on that one island until the big thing finally came out of the water.
Yeah.
So yeah, Tatsugiri I couldn't stand because that's right up there with the Florges shit we were just talking about. Orthoworm just because it looks like a fucking dick.
Yeah, Orthoworm doesn't look that good.
It's stupid. It looks like the worm. Yo, have you watched SpongeBob?
I try not to.
Do me a favor, go to Google and just type in SpongeBob worm and tell me that's not where they got Orthoworm from. I forget what the damn worm's called, but there was an episode based around this big ass worm that they had to like get rid of. Yeah, the Alaskan bullworm. Yeah, that's Orthoworm.
That is Orthoworm.
That's Orthoworm.
You're not wrong.
Yeah. And Clodsire, which I already see you have on there. Another fucking just brown. What the fuck is that? A whale?
It's the it's the evolved version of the Whopper for this area, or Whooper.
Okay. Oh, Quagsire. Yeah, Quagsire, Clodsire makes sense.
So another one that I don't think you'd be able to beat that would give me that I destroyed a lot of motherfuckers with was Annihilate.
Annihilate is strong. You had to go against an Annihilate too in one of the either the gyms or I think it was one of the those fucking the star bitches.
Mm-hmm. And the only way that I was able to beat them was with having one.
Oh yeah.
And
because there was that one move that it knew. Can you click into it? Yeah, I know you can click into it to get the moves because there was one move that was so powerful that it had.
You had Rage Fist.
I think it was Stomping Tantrum. I think
Stomping Tantrum was really good. You mean like?
Oh no, Outrage. Once it used Outrage, Close Combat was strong as shit too.
Yes.
But it's only strong once. Because then because once you use it, it lowers your shit.
Dude, there was just so much with this one that you could just do like insane amount of damage.
Now
I love Annihilate.
To bring this home a little bit and wrap it up in like a tiny little bow, we just went through every gen and picked out our favorite Pokemon from every gen. So I feel like it's only right that you narrow this thing down to your favorite of all the ones you just picked.
Why you do this to me?
It is really tough for me.
Hard.
I think I'm sticking with Mewtwo.
It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one at all.
I'm sticking with Mewtwo. Still want to punch a Zubat in the face, by the way, but I'm sticking with Mewtwo.
I'm never going to forget that. That was just incredible. Just so you know. Yeah, that's tough, dude. That's really fucking tough. So if I'm talking about just there's so many fucking Pokemon though. Like real rap. Like, dude, there are 1,021 Pokemon.
Yeah.
That's too many goddamn Pokemon to try to figure out which ones I want, which one's my favorite. But I would probably have to go with either Umbreon or Absol. Like Umbreon, just because I think Umbreon is just one of the most just sick fucking dark types.
Yeah.
And Absol is... I've always thought Absol was one of the coolest looking Pokemon.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd probably have to say one of those two. I can't actually give you one. I'll tell you that. Sorry. It's gonna be one of those two.
You know, obviously.
Ooh, I forgot about him.
Who?
Breloom. I loved Breloom.
Really?
Grass fighting? Fuck yeah, dude.
Fair enough.
Breloom was fucking incredible, dude. Shroomish was just mean.
Yeah. Now I'm sure, pretty positive, because there's no reason to think that there's not, that there will be a Gen 10 and a new game down the line. I will obviously get it. I will be more than happy with it. But you know what I wouldn't be mad at? And it's funny because we were just talking about this, but it's not like we're flooded with them anyway. I would not be mad at a next-gen remake of the original Red, Blue, and Yellow. I would play that. I would absolutely play that.
So you want like the RPG open world style, but having it be first gen?
I don't even necessarily know that you need the open world style where like you see them walking around like you do now, but almost kind of like that version, that camera angle, those graphics, but you still got to go in the grass and see what you get. That type of thing. So like I still have it be true to the first game, just updated graphics and shit like that. I wouldn't be mad at that.
They did something real similar to that with the Let's Go's. Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu are. I mean, dude, all it is, it is just a retelling of the Gen 1 story.
It was a retelling of the Gen 1 story, but I didn't like how it played because it was far too easy. I didn't like I didn't like when you gain experience, everything gains experience, and you can just
and then you can just
get these, and then you can just get these candies. And, like, you get them all the time, the large, the extra large, whatever, and you can just soup your shit up so fast.
Yeah.
It's almost like I want a remake to just give me an updated feel of everything I had back in the day. And being a product of the grind, I feel like the Let's Go's came out for, like, kids that don't want to grind. Because, it cuts the grinding, like, in half.
Well, I mean, look, that and also...
I'm not saying they're bad by any means.
There was also a different purpose for that game. That game was to help grow Pokemon Go.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because
That game
came with the ball, so you could actually like throw the Pokeball.
Exactly. You know what I mean?
And that was cool.
And I mean, look, we have them upstairs?
Yeah.
I think honestly we have 2 Pokeballs.
I had. Why? Good for you and Jess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, because Jess used to carry hers with her constantly.
If I still have it, it's Anthony's. I didn't buy one myself, but I had Anthony's. Okay. But yeah.
I would love to know what everybody else's favorites would be.
Yeah, you know what? You don't got to tell us your favorites from like every generation, but if someone could drop a line and let us know what your favorite Pokemon of all time is, I'd be interested.
Yeah,
and why?
Yeah, just those like top 3.
And least favorite. I want to know your least favorite too, because there's some wild ones out there. Like I said, you got a set of keys. You got, dude, even Sinisty's kind of stupid. It's a straight ghost fucking teacup.
Yeah, and then Poltergeist. Yeah, you're not wrong on that. I understand that.
What is it from Beauty and the Beast? Chip?
Yeah, Chip.
Yeah, it's like Chip died.
Again,
that's what's in Pokemon.
Again, dude, we're talking about they ran through like a rough like few gens, like probably 3 or 4 gens that were just regurgitating. You know what I mean? Like just
I'm just trying to think of some of the
they thought they
stupid
were
ones
putting
they had
a fun
out there.
spin
like,
on it, but it wasn't.
Like there's some out there that it's just like, what does Pokemon stand for?
Pocket Monster.
Pocket Monster. So when you think of shit like that, you know, a lot of these you're like, okay, I could see how that's monstrous, or at least I'm that thing. But then you have ones where it's like, ooh, okay. So a vanilla ice cream cone is a Pocket Monster. Cool. Got it.
I mean, look, I love Shroomish, but Shroomish could be put the same way. Same with Surskit.
Like some
you know
of
what
them
I mean? Like,
but at least they're well, I mean, Shroomish is a little different, but at least there are things that you don't generally see a lot, like a set of keys, a wreath, an ice cream cone, Chimecho, which is a what are they? Wind chimes. It's like a set of fucking wind chimes. What else they got up there?
The one that I ran with.
Bramble, whatever the fuck. That's just a straight up. Looks like a tumbleweed.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that guy. And there's also another one that's you mean they kind of hang from the tree. They look like bagworms. They were either this gen or last gen. Fuck. I hope everybody's really enjoying hearing us talk about this bullshit. Look, I mean, we've already said it. We're a bunch of fucking nerds for all of this. We love this stuff.
We do.
Yeah, dude. I like what they did with some of these, like Graphite, like making like an eye Pokemon, like an eye like lemur.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking cool to me. I think that's smart.
Yeah,
having
cool.
like this Mabastiff, like
Mabastiff, yeah.
I'm not a fan.
You had the whole storyline around that Pokemon.
I know, and I get it, but I mean, yeah, dude, yes, some of these were really dumb.
Agreed. Anyway, so that's our trip down Pokemon memory lane.
Woo!
Giving our favorite and our least favorite.
Squawkabilly.
Oh my god.
So dumb.
Fido. Just straight up cute ass Pokemon. Who's ever gonna be intimidated by that fucking
Dash
thing?
Bun.
Yeah.
I'll admit the names
are
for
solid.
these two are fucking
names
great.
are solid. Solid. I can't really say anything. Solid names.
Like Fido, I mean, just it and then like, yeah,
it just
dude,
makes sense.
Dash Bun just looks so good as a just freshly made fucking pastry or bread or whatever the fuck it is. All right, so I don't think we had. I mean, I didn't pull anything for.
We don't really
news.
have news. We don't really have news outside of Well, no, there's one little thing I could talk about. That's it's not.
Okay, we don't need the music for it. Go ahead.
So it's not anything. It's just one of those stories that's almost kind of just like the little one we gave about what was it? Wes Craven? Was it no John Carpenter?
Yeah, John Carpenter.
The last time. So somebody now whether or not it's real, I'm not sure. I'm gonna talk about it assuming it is real because if it is, kind of cool. So someone wrote Rockstar to thank them for them being able to quit smoking because they are so highly anticipating GTA 6. They cut smoking cold turkey, and as of when I read it yesterday, we're like 10 days sober because they want to be able to enjoy the game when it comes out. And they said, I don't know how deep they were smoking or what it may have caused, but they said, they don't want to end up, in the hospital when the game comes out and shit like that. So someone actually like typed out this long letter to Rockstar thanking them for helping them quit smoking.
Speaking of GTA, did you hear about the one guy got fucking swatted?
Well, that happens all the time.
Yeah, but so the voice actor that was Michael in the GTA game, The
Was
latest
that
one.
was that in the interview? The same interview where it was him and Franklin?
It might have been, but I mean, it was something I just saw on IGN, like maybe like
Okay.
it dropped like 10 hours ago or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, dude, he got swatted, which is just, I mean, he was streaming. He was streaming his fucking gaming and hanging out and chilling, and he got fucking swatted, which is just really shitty. Like I hate that. I fucking despise that fucking trend. I really do. But
yeah, me too. That's incredibly stupid, and it's incredibly dangerous.
Yeah, agreed. So you want to throw them some quick whop? So now it is time to go ahead and let all the crew members at home and the ones abroad, we're going to tell you what we are playing.
So, all right, what are we playing? Well, might as well just talk about the night that we just had because we just played some Texas Chainsaw Massacre with Clyburn. It was a good time. It started a little rough. It started a little rough. We did a couple. We got
hooked on one.
The whole night we were the family. But it was just Wes and I at first because we had to wait for Mike. And yeah, dude, the first match that we did, dude, these people were like ghosts, man, phantoms. They were gone before we could even see anybody.
Single person. I didn't see a single fucking person, and I was like, "Yo, for real?"
And then it was just like one person escaped, two people escaped.
I'm like, "Yo, come on, dog."
That's so funny because I was literally. I cannot wait for you to tell this man if you see that text message that I'm literally just getting ready to talk about this.
Go ahead.
Go
ahead.
So Mike just texted to make sure that I remember to retell something that I said last night. So for anyone that does not play Texas Chainsaw Massacre, briefly, you have the family, you have the victims. Very simple. You're on a map. They've got like 5 or 6 different maps. The victims have to find different ways to get to one of the different exits to get off the map. The family's got to kill them, but the family also has a little helper, Grandpa, who is, he just sits in this little rocking chair.
Grandpa.
He literally just sits in a rocking chair, doesn't do anything else. But
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do we know why he has a hammer?
Why Grandpa has a hammer?
Yeah. He just sits there with a hammer.
He has it in the original movie. It's been a while since I've seen the original. Because like everyone from
I'm making a point not to.
Like the victims included, everyone from this game were in the original movie. All of them. And they look just like if you were to pull it up, you'd be able to see. They look just like them. Anyway, so you also have Grandpa, who is just randomly placed on these maps each time. He sits in a rocking chair, and obviously every time you stab or cut or wound one of the victims, you get blood. You get blood. If you kill them, you get a lot of blood. But if you don't see anybody, there are also blood buckets that are just around the map.
So one of the things that is a stat in this game for the family is blood harvesting.
Yes.
And the higher your blood harvesting, the more blood you can hold before giving it to Grandpa.
Yes.
Like, so for me, I play as Sissy, which is, which is honestly one of the more powerful family members. And like I can give Grandpa up to 121 whatevers of blood. I think you said as Leatherface, you only had like what, 93?
92. 92. But yeah, blood harvesting is my weakest stat. And now there are 5 levels to Grandpa. I don't remember what all the levels are, but every level you get, he kind of helps aid in you finding these people, because when you're going around the map, like there is no little map in the corner.
Nope.
You can't see anybody unless they're making noise opening something. You might see a little something. But other than that, once you get Grandpa to max level, you can permanently see everybody on your map. Or like on the screen, I'm sorry. You can permanently see everyone, so you can track them down. Now, in order to do that, you have to feed Grandpa blood. And my wife walked in at a very strange moment in time yesterday when I was talking about, I said, I can't get enough blood. I can't get enough blood, and we got to get this blood into Grandpa. And my wife walked down and she said, "Who the fuck are you guys? And what did I just walk into?" Like I just walked into this conversation of you needing more blood to fill up Grandpa. And I was like, hey, we do what we do. But once we got Mike, dude, shit turned around because we were able to communicate, and we did a lot of good stuff. And I think so. We played 3 matches together. One of them we killed 2 of 4, and then the other 2 we killed 3 of 4.
Yep.
And in the one of them we each got a kill. I had one, you had one, Clyburn had one, and the other one you had 2, I had 1.
I got lucky.
They should have assists though, because the one that I got was all because of Clyde. Well, actually, no. Technically, I would have had it from Clyburn, but I screwed up. But one of Wes's powers with Sissy is she has this like poisonous gas, really, and he threw this gas, and this chick tried to dip into a well, which leads down to the basement.
Like literally while I was blowing the gas in her face.
Yeah, so they have these wells stashed throughout the map, because when you start on each map as a member of the victims, you start in the basement where Leatherface is. You have to work to figure out how to get out of the basement. Then when you're out of the basement, you work on trying to figure out how to get out of the
whole place,
off the map. Now there is one basement exit that you can get through as well.
That's intricate as fuck to get though, because you need you need
a lot of stuff. You need like lock picks, you need fuses, lock picks, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So they have these wells placed around, and if you're in a pinch and someone's chasing you outside and you jump down a well, it'll take you into the basement. But if you're already a little wounded, once you land, you're down there for a bit. And I was just wandering the basement because Clyburn said he chased somebody down there, so I was looking, and I'm walking. And I'm looking in the distance as I'm walking, and I see this like green gas starting to come down. I'm like, what the hell? So I keep walking forward. I'm like, oh, Wes is right above. I'm guessing if he put the gas there, I was like, it's 50-50. Either he did it long ago and it's just still chilling, or he just did it for a reason. And as I walk towards it, I get like 5 feet away, and this body just falls right in front of me. Literally. It's like a piece... Man, it's like a piece of chicken just plucked. It's like a chicken plucked itself, threw itself on the grill, put barbecue sauce on, and said, "Bro, do what you want." It just landed right in front of me and couldn't move. And what I didn't tell you guys, probably because I didn't want you to look at me weird, but fuck it, I'm gonna say it now so everyone can judge me. Is I went straight serial killer because I stood there for like a minute or two because she couldn't move. So she was laying there, and I turned off the chainsaw and I revved it, and then I revved it again, and then I revved it again, and then I turned it on, and I kind of just stood there for a minute going, "Ning, ning, ning." And then right when she started to move, I killed her.
Oh my god.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
that is absolutely serial killer shit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. So
Nice
we
job,
had so we had all that. I also finished Spider-Man 2, like torched it. It's platinumed. There's nothing else that I can do. So all I can hope is when New Game Plus does come out, they add other stuff in.
Yeah.
For me to do, because if it's just play the game over again with all your powers, probably not going to do it because nothing's going to be different. And I did so much grinding to begin with that I had most of the powers throughout the game anyway.
Okay.
But if they put in new shit, I will absolutely jump back in. And it was incredible. The entire story was incredible. Every nothing. There was nothing I did in there that felt tedious or like, oh, God,
dragging it along.
Oh God, I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
See, it's funny because a lot of people said that. I mean, because we talked about this before with the Mary Jane stuff. That those missions. A lot of people were saying, that's what it felt like doing her stuff. It felt like a slog.
See, I didn't mind. Now, those were the slower portions of the game. Now, I didn't mind it because they weren't slow just because they were long and slow and nothing to do. They were slow because the entire thing was stealth-based. So obviously, when you're doing stealth-based missions, they're gonna go a lot slower because you gotta sneak around, you gotta hide behind things, you gotta figure out how to get guys away from here so you can take this one out. So they did go slower, but I grew up on Splinter Cell games were some of my favorite, and just anything stealth-based I love. So I didn't mind it, and they didn't have you do it too much where it felt like, God, okay, I gotta do this again.
It didn't feel too tedious.
No.
Okay.
No. So like my final grade is an A+ all around. It's dope how seamless the change is from Peter to Miles. It is clearly a brilliant tech demo in this whole like no load screen thing. Because when you fast travel, now I told myself, just like some of the people in the beginning, like, I'm Spider-Man, what the fuck I need to fast travel for? At some point, you're like, fuck it, I'm fast traveling.
It's New York City. Do you realize how big New York City is?
I'm not flying, even with the web wings, I ain't flying this bitch all the way
It is
around.
a motherfucking island, dog.
Yeah. So I did use fast travel a lot, and it is instantaneous. Like, you're on the map, and you like, because the way Spider-Man games work, when you're looking at the map, you can still see like individual buildings. So you pick like, I want to go down this street. The second you pick it, it zooms out and Spider-Man's already swinging down that exact street you picked. It's like, dude, this is crazy.
That's sick.
Crazy. Yeah. A lot of characters I didn't expect to be in that game. A lot of storylines that I didn't expect to be in that game because I'm not quite sure it's how they were in the comics. So I'm assuming they took a little bit of their own creative licensing to do certain little different things.
I mean, look, we also have to remember...
Cliver and I will ask. You'll all ask after the fact.
Yeah. I mean, look, we also have to remember that you're talking about something that literally has tens of thousands of universes. So there has to be one that this lines up.
Yeah.
Remember
Fair
that.
enough, yeah.
Or they could be completely writing their own universe, into which, yes, because what's going to line up because they're making it canon. So
yeah, but yeah, it was great. I can't wait for you to play it. I can't wait to watch Clyburn finish it because I want to say if he does one more 2.5 hour stream, he'll probably finish it out.
Okay. I'll make sure I drop a link to his Twitch because he's been doing great work on that.
Just know that if you do want to drop a link and you do jump into his Twitch, if you just go with whatever the most recent one is, or most recent one, if you go into whatever one is live next, you're gonna be tuning in basically just at the end of the game.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to have a bunch of shit spoiled,
check the VODs.
Yeah.
You gotta check the VODs.
But yeah, so I'll be jumping back into the next game I play. We'll be jumping right back into Jedi Survivor.
Yep.
I'm hoping because I remember telling you how expansive that game was. So I'm really hoping that I remember where I was, what I was doing, because that's not a game that I want to start over.
I can understand.
I really don't.
I can understand that.
You have anything?
Actually, yes. So I moved the Xbox back down to the studio. PlayStation is upstairs now. So, like, when I'm down here in the studio, I'm either playing TCM with y'all or I'm fucking around with, like, Cocoon. And, like, Cocoon's up for, like, 3 or 4 awards on the Game Awards. And I don't understand the game. I've been playing it for probably about 4 or 5 hours.
Wait, which game?
Cocoon.
Oh, okay.
I do not understand it, though. There are 3, like, there's 3 buttons you use. That's it. You don't do anything else with the game. Like, I mean, there's no real, like, fighting. Like, you grab something and then you, like, throw it towards something and that's it. Or you pick something up and then while you're carrying it, you're seeing, like, a pathway that you're allowed to walk.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, it's cool. It's interesting. It's very much like a Portals, Talos principle, like, that style of shit, which is cool. You know what I mean? It's just, like, a much more over the head. You mean, like over top version. But other than that, with having the PlayStation 5 upstairs, I finally started playing Ragnarok. I'm about 4.5 hours into that right now, and I'm loving it. I got to fight Thor.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah. That's some shit. I mean, look. If you know what I mean, look, all right, fine. Spoiler alert, straight up. If for anybody who hasn't played the last God of War game, you know what I mean, I'm giving you this now. You know what I mean? 3, 2, 1. Alright, there's your spoiler alert. You kill his kids. In the last game, you kill Thor's sons. So obviously he wants to come to you for blood. Makes fucking sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, like, but your son, Atreus, he has a different name in, like, Jotunheim, the land of the giants and stuff, because his mother is actually a giant. His name over there is Loki. We have to remember that if you want to look into the Ragnarok lore, Loki, by killing Baldur, starts Ragnarok. That is how it begins. But, like, dude, you're going, like, you got to deal with, like, Heimdall. You got to deal with, like, dude, like, the probably Sif. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, like, I've already fucking had. Odin was he was intimidating without trying to be. I mean, I've only had, like, select conversations with Odin so far in this, and the dude who does the voice for Odin, who also did the motion cap, he used to play. He was on a show West Wing. It's like an older dude. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously it's not.
I'll look it up. Keep
all right. So, but, like, the way he plays Odin, it kind of feels like John Malkovich-ish a little bit, and I'm like, okay, I can feel that. I can run with that a little bit. But yeah, dude, like, it's like, so far I am having a hell of a time. It is. I'm dying a bunch because I'm not paying that much attention to, like, parries and shit like that.
You said Odin?
Yeah.
Richard Schiff.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, he was on West Wing. He was on. I mean, he's been on a bunch of, like, those like prime time like primary channels, like sitcoms. Yeah. Like you mean at the like prime time, like 8-9 o'clock shit.
Oh shit.
So
Brett Dalton and Deborah Ann Wall are voices in Ragnarok.
I might know them by face, but I don't know them by.
You definitely know Brett Dalton because you played as him in Until Dawn, and Deborah Ann Wall you definitely know from True Blood.
Oh,
and from other things too.
Shit. So she plays Laufey. Okay. Yeah. So I am beyond loving this game so far. Like there have been like 3 or 4 nights that I'll spend at least 3 hours. I mean, at least like 2 hours on it, just trying to enjoy and have fun. I mean, dude, because everything is about finding like what they have to do next. You know, because right now you're looking for Tyr, who is the Aesir god of war. So the point of it is looking for Tyr, so that way Tyr maybe can help you and Atreus go against Odin, because Tyr and Odin do not get along in the slightest.
Yeah.
But I'll let you know once I go ahead and start really fucking shit up.
Dope.
But dude, because you have the Blades of Chaos.
Because like you said, you're gonna pass that to me when I pass you.
Yes, I will. You have the Blades of Chaos as well as also having the Leviathan axe. I mean, so dude, you run with both the entire time, so you get to switch off.
That's sick.
It is so great. Because I'll throw the Leviathan axe, freeze somebody with it, and then pull out the Chaos Blades, and just with the chains just start just going to town.
I'm excited.
It is, yeah, it's definitely fun. It's a good time. And it definitely, I mean, you feel some feels.
Oh, I believe it.
You feel some feels. But, yeah, that's where we are. So what I'm going to do is we're going to let Anthony take us out. And then, I mean, look, y'all know the deal.
Glorious. It's a glorious day today, and it's Saturday. And we're going to connect with CGC. You can find us at consolegamingcrew.com. You can find us at our email, which is consolegamingcrew@gmail.com. Our Twitter handle, by the way, is at consolecrew. YouTube and Instagram are both Console Gaming Crew. If you check us out, check out Boss Rush Network, which is bossrush.net. Great place. There's lots of things you can find there aside from us. Great people. By the way, Twitch should be returning at some point. It is CGC Podcast. We have co-op Mondays, and we're going to do something fancy for Fridays. I don't know yet. But that's where you can find us. And I hope you all have a wonderful day.
All right, y'all. We truly, truly hope you had a fantastic holiday, some good days off. Hopefully Black Friday gave you a little something to buy some things. I actually did. I bought I picked up the Burning Shores DLC for Horizon, the new Horizon game, Forbidden West.
Nice.
So, dude, yeah, it was like 30% off. I'm like, I need to get back into that game because I loved playing that so much. Plus, I'll be able to see the Lance Riddick monument that they have in it, and that will probably bring me as close to crying as I might get in video games.
I'm waiting for Cyber Monday's always my day to go peep some stuff.
It just depends on how crazy work is for me. You know what I mean? But I mean, yeah, I know Cyber Monday's a full day long and all that other jazz, but you know what I mean, like, you know how it goes. I mean, dude, some of the stuff is actually really good in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah. So next week we are going to have the free and new. So
stay tuned for that.
Until next time, y'all, please just do me a favor. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Do what you gotta do to feel good, and it better be playing them fucking games. And as always, my peoples,
Game on.
Game on, y'all. Much love. Peace.